Everybody knows Ali as the heavyweight champion who floated like a butterfly and stung like a bee. But while the world was watching his fists, something completely different was happening in his garage, in Chicago showrooms, in a workshop ordered by Arab royalty, and inside a Brazilian car factory he tried to own. The cars Ali bought, received, and tried to build reveal a man the world never fully saw. Number 10. Bluebird Wanderlodge Motorhome. You probably did not expect a motorhome to open this list, and that reaction is exactly why it does. Muhammad Ali needed a vehicle serious enough to match the way he moved through the world. What he chose was a Bluebird Wanderlodge, a motorhome built on a full commercial bus chassis by the same company that manufactured American school buses. Except inside, this thing had a private bedroom, a full bathtub, a kitchen with a gas grill, 2 televisions, electric drapes, a central vacuum system, and an intercom running from the master bedroom to the driver's seat. They stretched up to 40 feet long and cost more than most American houses when they were new. But the detail that stops everything is the company Ali kept as the Wanderlodge owner. A 1987 New York Times report confirmed that the documented celebrity list for this vehicle included President Jimmy Carter, King Hussein of Jordan, John Wayne, and Johnny Cash. Muhammad Ali was on that same list. Every one of them, with unlimited money and unlimited options, chose this specific vehicle. Ali was 6'3". He did not fit in ordinary things. And that, quietly, is what the next 9 cars are really about. Number 9. 1959 Cadillac Series 62. There is one car in the world that carries something no other vehicle has: Muhammad Ali's signature, written in his own hand, directly on the glove compartment door. The car is a 1959 Cadillac Series 62 in Georgian blue, a 6-window model from the year Cadillac produced the tallest tail fins in the company's history. The original 390 cubic inch V8 still sits under the hood, backed by a 4-speed Hydromatic automatic, with power windows, a power front bench seat, and factory air conditioning. Ali's personal assistant, Frank Sadlow, owned it in the early 1990s, and Ali was regularly seen riding it through his hometown of Louisville, Kentucky. At some point, Ali signed the glove compartment door himself, and that signature never left. The car spent 23 years in climate-controlled storage in California before it crossed the block at Barrett-Jackson's Scottsdale Fall Auction in October 2024, offered with photographs of Ali with the car, every Kentucky license plate it ever wore, and a pair of signed boxing gloves. The Barrett-Jackson listing confirmed it. This was the only vehicle known to carry his actual signature anywhere on the body. Think about how many millions of things Muhammad Ali signed across his lifetime, and somehow, only one car ever got his name on it. Number 8. Cadillac El Dorado. When Ali was not fighting and not making headlines, he was often just driving around Louisville. That was where he came from, and that was where he kept returning no matter what the rest of the world was offering. When he was in Louisville, he liked doing it in a Cadillac Eldorado. Through the 1970s and into the 1980s, Ali kept Eldorados in his personal fleet, sometimes more than one simultaneously. A massive V8, a body impossible to miss from half a block away, and enough presence to hold its own next to a man who had been heavyweight champion 3 times. What the Eldorado really reveals is the range of who Ali was. The same man who owned a gold-covered Mercedes given to him by Arab royalty, and who had a factory in Brazil building a car named after him, was also perfectly at ease cruising Louisville on an ordinary Tuesday. He did not need everything he owned to announce itself. The Eldorado was the quiet end of a very wild spectrum, and the next entry begins a shopping trip in Chicago that was only supposed to produce one purchase. Number 7. Alfa Romeo Spider Veloce Series 2. In 1976, Ali drove to European imports in Lake Forest, a wealthy suburb north of Chicago, with one thing in mind: buying a Rolls-Royce. He bought the Rolls. But while he was there, he spotted something else on the showroom floor: a silver 1976 Alfa Romeo Spider Veloce Series 2, a compact Italian 2-seater with a 2.0-liter double overhead cam engine, speak-up mechanical fuel injection, 4-wheel disc brakes, and a 5-speed manual gearbox. Only 4,530 examples were built for the entire 1976 model year. Ali bought it on the spot as a gift for his third wife, Veronica Porsche. What happened next is one of those quietly brilliant details that nobody who knew Ali seemed surprised by. Veronica could not drive a manual transmission. She never sat behind the wheel. Not once. Ali gave the car to his close friend, Tim Shanahan, who had been standing right there in the dealership when Ali bought it. Shanahan drove it for more than 40 years, documented the story in his book, Running with the Champ, and the car eventually came to market with the original Illinois registration still carrying Ali's signature, alongside photographs of the two men together with the Spider. Ali bought a car as a romantic gesture, discovered the wife could not drive it, and handed it to his best friend on the way out of the building. But Shanahan was not the only person who went home with a car from that visit. Ali did not stop at 2 purchases that afternoon. Number 6. Rolls-Royce Corniche, Kelly Green Convertible. On the same afternoon Ali walked into European Imports to buy one Rolls-Royce and accidentally bought an Italian Roadster he immediately gave away. He also bought a second Rolls-Royce, a 1976 Corniche convertible in Kelly Green. That means he left that parking lot with 3 cars from a single visit: the silver Alfa for Veronica, who could not drive it, a coffee brown Corniche Coupe with his personal motto engraved inside it, and this Kelly Green Corniche convertible. All 3 in one afternoon, all from the same building. The color choice alone tells you something. Rolls-Royce sold plenty of silver and black Corniches to wealthy clients who wanted to signal money without causing a scene. Muhammad Ali chose Kelly Green. That is not a color you drive in quietly. Nobody in America in 1976 was overlooking that car on any street, anywhere. The Corniche was among the finest things Rolls-Royce made in that era. Hand-built, with suspension so refined the car felt like it traveled through air rather than across pavement. Ali drove his open-top through Chicago while being the most recognizable man in the country. And the coffee brown version of that same car, bought that same afternoon, carried something the Kelly Green convertible did not. 4 words, built in at the factory before Ali ever touched the steering wheel. Number 5. 1976 Rolls-Royce Corniche Coupe. When Muhammad Ali ordered this Rolls-Royce, he contacted the factory in England and asked them to install a personalized plaque inside the car as part of the original build. Not an afterthought. Not a dealer accessory. Fitted at the point of manufacture, in England, before the car ever crossed the Atlantic, at Ali's personal request. The craftsman engraved 4 words: I am the greatest. The car is a 1976 Rolls-Royce Corniche Coupe in coffee brown with a cream and brown interior. The plaque was there when Ali took delivery. It had been authenticated with photographs and original paperwork confirming him as the first owner, and it was eventually recognized as a Muhammad Ali collectible, used for charity events by the owners who followed him. Think about the sequence of events required for that plaque to exist. Ali had to call Rolls-Royce. Someone had to receive the call. Craftsmen had to engrave the plaque. The car had to be assembled around it and shipped across the ocean. And at no point did anyone at one of those most prestigious car companies in the world say no to Muhammad Ali, asking them to install his own motto into their finest product. The next car was not about asking for something. It was about the moment he bought his own freedom back. Number 4. 1970 Rolls-Royce Silver Shadow Mulliner Park Ward Convertible. In 1966, the United States government stripped Muhammad Ali of his boxing license and his passport. He had refused military service in Vietnam on religious grounds. The punishment removed everything his career was built on. He was 25 years old. He did not fight professionally for nearly 4 years. He lost his prime, his titles, and his right to leave the country. Then in 1970, the state of Georgia gave him a license to fight again. Within months, a man still legally named Cassius Clay walked into a New Jersey dealership and paid nearly $16,000 for a 1970 Rolls-Royce Silver Shadow Mulliner Park Ward convertible, one of only 272 left-hand drive convertibles of this specific configuration ever produced, hand-built at the Mulliner Park Ward Coachworks in Willesden, London. At the time of purchase, it was the most expensive model in the entire Rolls-Royce lineup. It weighed over 2 tons. Ali ordered rare optional headrests that were still in place, untouched, when the car came to auction nearly 50 years later. He kept it for 6 years. A photograph from February 1973, taken outside Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas the night before his fight with Joe Bugner, shows Ali standing beside the Silver Shadow with his close friend Diana Ross. That photograph traveled with the car when it went under the hammer at Bonhams in Belgium in October 2018, alongside a copy of Cassius Clay's temporary driver's license. It sold for €132,250, including the buyer's premium. He bought that Rolls-Royce the month he got his boxing license back. That purchase was not about a car. But then a gift arrived that made even a top-spec 1970 Rolls-Royce look restrained. Number 3. Mercedes-Benz Golden Angel Wing. An Arab royal admirer, watching Ali from somewhere in the world during his championship years, decided at some point that a normal gift would not be appropriate for the greatest man in sports. What arrived for Ali was a 1959 Mercedes-Benz that became known as the Golden Angel Wing, and it existed entirely outside anything resembling normal automotive production. The entire exterior was covered in 23-karat gold, hand-laid throughout the body. The interior was built to resemble what the people who commissioned it described as an Arabian palace on wheels. Set into the bumpers, the headlamp assembly, the grille, and every button, knob, and switch inside the car were more than 270 precious stones. Rubies, diamonds, sapphires, and emeralds, all placed by hand. According to the owner, who later put it up for sale, every gem represented a complexion of the human race, and the entire car was built to glorify God. The car appeared on Pawn Stars and was appraised at $1.5 million. When it went to auction, bids opened at $500,000. Both Ali and the car's later owner directed that proceeds from any sale should go toward combating world hunger. The car traveled over 500 miles from Las Vegas just to sit in a Ford dealership in Manteca, California, so people could look at it before bidding. A gold and gem-covered Mercedes, given by royalty, worth $1.5 million, with the sale money going to feed the hungry. That one vehicle contains more of Ali's world than most people could fit into an entire biography. But the 2 cars remaining on this list were not given to Ali by anyone. They were what he tried to build himself, and the first of them ended with $36 million gone and a nickname that translates to lettuce. Number 2. Puma Al Fassi. In 1986, Muhammad Ali was 44 years old, 5 years retired, and not done. A friend named Kevin Haynes, who represented a Brazilian sports car company called Puma, introduced him to a company that had just gone through its second bankruptcy. Puma made sleek fiberglass sports cars originally inspired by the Lamborghini Miura, and they needed someone whose name opened doors on every continent. Ali did not take a phone meeting. He flew to Curitiba, Brazil, personally, with an engineer, a consultant, a lawyer, and a friend, to walk the factory floor himself. He formed a company called Ali Vehicle Industry and struck a deal worth $36 million to produce modified Puma P108 convertibles for the Middle East under the name Puma Al Fassi by Muhammad Ali. His Saudi partner was a self-proclaimed sheikh named Muhammad Al Fassi, reportedly connected to the Saudi royal family by marriage, and known for traveling with a 170-person entourage with a dedicated limousine just to carry his camera crew. The name Al Fassi in Portuguese sounds like alface, the word for lettuce. For a brief window in automotive history, Muhammad Ali was co-producing a Porsche-powered Brazilian sports car that people in Curitiba quietly called the lettuce. 2 full prototypes were completed. Then the Gulf War started. Al Fassi backed the wrong side, had his assets frozen, and the deal collapsed entirely. Ali lost $36 million. The cars were never delivered. But even that loss was not the real dream, because from the beginning, the Puma Al Fassi was always just a warm-up for what he actually wanted to build. Number 1. Ali Stinger. The Ali Stinger was not a partnership. It was not a modified version of someone else's product. It was Muhammad Ali's own car, designed from scratch to carry his name, built to his specifications, and named after the thing he had spent 20 years telling the world he could do to any man alive. The development team took the Puma GT platform and redesigned it throughout. 3 versions were planned: a hardtop, a convertible, and a premium sport model with white and red interior seating. Every version was powered by a Porsche 911 flat 6 engine. By 1987, at least 20 working prototypes had been built and evaluated in Curitiba. Ali traveled to Brazil personally to oversee them, documented as the only time in history that a world heavyweight boxing champion supervised the production of a car carrying his own name. He spoke to the Brazilian press directly. The words he used were the same ones he had used about himself since 1964. "The car will be like I was in the ring. It will float like a butterfly and sting like a bee." He appeared in advertisements for it. He had sales plans covering North America, Europe, and Saudi Arabia simultaneously. Then the Gulf War arrived. Al Fassi's assets were frozen. Brazil lifted its import ban, which gutted the domestic market Puma needed to survive. Ali was forced to hand over production rights. By 1995, the whole venture was over. 20 Porsche-powered prototypes existed. Not one of them ever reached a customer. The car that Muhammad Ali named after himself, that he described using the most famous words he ever said about his own body, never made it out of a factory in South America. He was the greatest at almost everything he attempted. But the Ali Stinger was the one thing that was completely his, completely built, and completely stopped by the world before anyone got to drive it. That car belongs in every conversation about who Muhammad Ali really was. Ali was the greatest in the ring. His garage told the story of everything else he was trying to be. If you want more stories like this one, hit subscribe and check out the next video on your screen right now.